Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mr. Fuzzy Lego, and welcome back to a very special custom Lego minifigure video. Today I'm showing you the 7 minifigures I made from Avengers Endgame, which is of course the continuation of Avengers Infinity War and the culmination of the MCU as we know it. So this is going to be a very special video, and so for this video I have Captain America, Steve Rogers in his Endgame attire with the scaled suit it looks like, the Iron Man Mark 85, Captain Marvel version 2, Thor, the War Machine Hulkbuster, which I don't even know if it will appear in the film. I just made it because it looks super cool and whatnot. Black Widow, and of course AntMan, and there's one more figure that I have to show later in this video. So there are some missing characters in this. I only made this many because these were the ones that I wanted to make. So there's no Rocket, there's no Nebula, there's no Thanos. These are just the ones that I wanted to make for this film, and so this is just going to be so crazy seeing the end of this film. I'm seeing people online already watching it, because as of this recording I have not seen it, and there's people online that are talking about it, and it just doesn't even seem like real that this has come out. It's kind of insane, so this is very surreal, so I'm really excited to this video, so without further ado, let's get started. So first up is Captain America, and this time I made him in the Endgame like suit. I don't know, it's in a bunch of promotional art. It has the scales on it and everything. I'll kind of show you this figure now. So yeah, you can see all the scales I painted on there. This is a relatively old figure, made it in January, but just kind of left it on, left it alone. I gave him a shield, which is all weathered up because it's a bit dirty this time around. So yeah, just a Captain America shield. Standard Lego, and I just, painted that a little bit for the shield. His belt's three-dimensional, all the paint on his legs look real nice, and the detail goes into the inside of those shoes, the shoes of the legs, and here's a look on the back of the torso as well. That's all three-dimensional looking, and he fell over. It's all three-dimensional looking, it looks pretty nice. He's got the A's painted onto his shoulders with chainmail underneath it, which looks pretty cool. Painted my own head to make it, get Chris Evans' likeness. Could be better. There's probably a lot of heads that already look better for it. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice, man. I really like this figure. I used this Superman hairpiece that I sanded down the sides to make it look real sweet, and painted the star in the silver. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Captain America. So yeah, overall, I think this is a really nice Captain America figure for Endgame, and I really like the way it looks. So yeah, sad to see him leave this franchise, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next figure. So the next figure is Tony Stark, or the Iron Man Mark 85, which I think turned out pretty sweet. I'm very happy with the way this one turned out. I used a mixture of metallic red, which is kind of a pinkish color. When I move the armor around, you can kind of see all the metallic bits on this hunk of armor. I think it turned out really sweet. I love some of the armor highlights that I put into this, and I think it just turned out really awesome, and I love the way this looks. Definitely my best Iron Man yet. I've only made a few Iron Men, and this that Mark 85 definitely tops it. Much better than the one that I did for Infinity War. That one was not the best figure, not the worst figure. It's kind of average, but I think I knew that I could definitely improve, and this is exactly what this one was. It's really nice using the Hot Toys reference. I'll show you this figure. So when you move the legs up, you can see he's got all that detail painted onto both legs because that's how it looks in the film. It looks amazing. You got some of the inside legs. You can see more of that metallic red that I have sculpted onto the chest, sculpted onto the arms to make it look kind of bulky. I also, along with not only metallic red highlights, I got lots of gold highlights. You can see down there towards the legs, some of those knee pads down there, some of the sides, on the back. There's some different light gold metallic bits, and just overall really nice painted figure. Definitely took a while to get this one right. Definitely took a while to make it, but I think it turned out exactly how I was expecting it. Really awesome. So before I move on to the next figure, I did of course have Tony Stark in there. No, not the new head that came out in Infinity War. I simply don't have it, but just the standard one, which looks just amazing. I painted the neck on that, of course, and he turned out pretty sweet. His hairpiece is somewhat Superman hairpiece, not sanded down. It's simple, man. Looks really nice. So that's it for the Iron Man Mark 85. Very awesome figure, and very happy with the way that this one turned out. So third up is Black Widow, who is not only one of my favorite figures in the out of these minifigures, but of course just out of the entire MCU and the entire Marvel franchise. She's definitely really cool. figure-wise and character-wise, and I think the figure turned out really sweet. So she has these bars. I still forget the names of them, even to this day, but I painted lines onto them, and that was difficult. Halfway through it, I pretty much just said, I don't even care, they're symmetrical, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Some of these just aren't the smoothest lines, but I shouldn't even be showing you up close, but just so you can see that I'm not perfect either. I got those pretty alright, I would say. So we're going to start off with the torso and all that. So I used a mixture of different colors. The base color itself is a gray mixed with some black, and it's just got lots of gunmetal and gray and metallic black highlights and things just all over, making the way the torso looks and everything how it's supposed to. You got the inside of the legs painted in there, looking really nice. That one apparently doesn't have the strap that goes around it, and I don't even think it's supposed to have a strap, but if it, oh, there it is. It's just hiding. Weird. But yeah, the headpiece I painted to resemble the likeness of Scarlett Johansson, which I think came out really sweet. I think it looks just like her. I don't care really what anyone else says. I think maybe it doesn't look perfect, but I think it turned out really sweet, especially for this film. And the hairpiece is one of these braided hairpieces. I forgot what they're called. You can maybe figure it out from the back, but it's got more of a thing on the front, so I sanded that down and cut it up so that it wasn't so full in the front, and then I basically just painted it in the correct colors that is necessary, and got the little fade going on over there. Really nice. I'm going to show you this. I also painted her little thing right there, and there's a head back there. Weird man. I don't know. But yeah, definitely interested in getting the Elsa from the Disney Series 2 minifigures, because that hairpiece looks perfect for this iteration of Black Widow, and I think this figure just turned out really awesome. So that's it for Black Widow. So the fourth figure I have to show you is Thor, and he came out pretty sweet along with everyone else in this little collection that I made. So getting the Stormbreaker out of the way first, it's the same one that I built last year with my last Infinity War Thor. I just painted some new lines onto that, and those lines go out to Super Prisk Productions. Took some quick inspiration off of that. I think he literally just posted that video today. So he's got some really awesome Infinity War figures. I meant to say Endgame. He's got some really awesome Endgame figures. I recommend you check him out. I'll leave a link to his video and channel in the description, but based some of those lines off of his Stormbreaker that he made on his Thor, which I think looked pretty cool. So I'm just gonna give him some credit there. So hopefully that's all right with him. So yeah, it turned out pretty cool. I'm gonna remove it now because it's weighing down the figure a lot. So this Thor is basically just my Infinity War Thor, just with some new painted details. First of all, I gave him some chainmail arms, replaced the flesh arms with the chainmail, because a lot of people are thinking of doing that. I kept the torso the same, just added some extra detail, covered up some of those white lines with gunmetal because I thought they looked better, and painted a brand new set of legs. He's got a lot more detail because last time I left out so much detail. It was so simplistic that it just was awful. There's the back, which is the exact same from Infinity War. So this basically is just a Thor that I just carried over from Infinity War and just repainted, because he doesn't change a whole lot from the different films, besides a few different little sets of lines in here and there. So that's basically what I did on my Lego Thor. He's got some pair of boots, and then he's got a cape, which is brand new and painted. To be accurate, last time it was not, but now it is, and it looks really sweet. And the other side looks pretty cool as well. And before I wrap up this figure now, I did paint two separate heads onto this. So the first one is this one with a beard painted onto it, and then the second is, of course, when he's a little bit more angry and he has the electricity eyes. I'm not sure specifically what to call them, but this is what I've been using for a lot of different photos and whatnot, because I think it looks really sweet. And, you know, this happens at the end of Infinity War and maybe Endgame. Like I said, I haven't seen the video, the movie as of this point, so that's kind of a bummer. Please don't spoil anything in the comments, Thor says. And yeah, that's about it for my Lego custom Thor from Endgame. Definitely came out pretty sweet, so I'm really happy with it. Let's move on to the last. And the next minifigure I have to show you is AntMan, who might be one of my favorite Avengers just because Paul Rudd is involved, because Paul Rudd is one of my favorite actors. I know it's kind of dumb, but I've always enjoyed the work that he has done. You know, there's always that one actor that you just really like to watch on screen. For me, it's a multitude of actors. Bill Murray, Paul Rudd, of course. There's other actors who I really enjoy watching on screen. It's Chris Pratt. We all know. But yeah, that's basically, I don't know. I mean, not that the AntMan films in the MCU are the best thing in the world. I don't know why I'm talking about Ant-Man when I should be talking about the actual figure itself. So let's go ahead and talk about Ant-Man in the legit Lego figure, who I made all the way in February because when I was really going strong with these figures and just kind of stopped after a while. I did get a massive amount of production on this Ant-Man figure, which turned out really sweet. I guess so. His torso is a mixture of different inspirational figures that I saw in this community, ranging from a lot of different people such as MGF and McLovin. So I'm just gonna give everybody credit for some of the designs. Of course, Hot Toys, and also just just references for Ant-Man in the MCU, and especially from Ant-Man and the Wasp, as this is the outfit this comes from. So I guess I should go ahead and talk about the helmet, because that's definitely the bulk of this figure. It is a Clone Trooper helmet is the base, and then I sculpted onto the snout, sanded a lot of it down so it was smoother, and then just sculpted on all of the pieces here, the antenna, I think what they're called, I don't even know. And he's got this bit down here, he's got the regulator, that just came undone. There's a big heavenly light. I bet that's Thanos. I better stop that from happening. Let's go and do that. But yeah, it was just a Clone Trooper helmet that I completely painted onto after sanding it down, and it turned out pretty sweet. Brace yourself. I tried to paint a Paul Rudd head. Did not work. Oh gosh. I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but it doesn't look like Paul Rudd really at all. Even whenever you give hair, it just doesn't work. It's not even the right hair piece. So that's just something that I made quickly. Definitely put the helmet on and forget that you saw that, because it's terrifying. But that is it for this minifigure. We're just gonna leave his hair on the ground, just like everything else. So that's pretty much it for Ant-Man. So let's go ahead and move on to the next minifigure. So here is my version 2 of Captain Marvel, which, no joke, I made in a day. I spent all day, the other day, just making this, and I actually posted a preview figures to Instagram, and that had my old Captain Marvel in it, which is it's still a good figure. I think maybe there's too many highlights onto it. I still have the torso of it right here. It's not the worst figure, but I definitely wanted to try again, as I really enjoyed Captain Marvel, and I actually am seeing it one more time before Endgame. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to make another one, because I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed not only the character, but the film. I've seen it almost 3 times now, and I say almost because I'm about to see it for third. So there's lots of things I changed on this. This is basically a 75% brand new figure, because the only things that I didn't change were the arms. The arms are the exact same from the last figure, so that looks pretty nice. Basically just some generic torso. No! I'm filming! No! No! I think he's gone. No! Sorry for that little cut, I had to do something really fast. But anyway, back to the figure. There's a brand new leg design that I put onto this, just with some new lines, new bits, and the belt here is a bit more accurate. It's supposed to have another one of those gold little strips on it, but I only included one because of the size, so yeah, there's a bit difference there. So the biggest change to this figure from the last one that I made is, of course, the hair, which is a lot more accurate and looks a lot better. And that's all thanks to my good buddy Jonathan. Thanks so much for letting me use this, because this looks a lot better. So it's one of those really long hair pieces. I cut it down here and sanded it so it looked clean. I also did the back a little bit. You can still see the cut. I did a little bit of a mess there. But yeah, removing it, you can see the back of the head. And I painted the lips, actually. I repainted that lips, and then the what is it? The eyebrows. I think the Princess Leia from the Shuttle Tidarium, and also the 2016 Death Star. I don't know, but that's what I did to make this look pretty nice. And so that's about it for this Captain Marvel. But before I move on to the other figures, because I'm seeing the film again, I decided I might as well make something else from the film. So this has little nothing to do with Endgame, but I just made it because I made Goose. Because Goose is amazing in the film. I love Goose. He's awesome. Not only because I just really like this character, but we actually got, this is a complete side note, and this, like I said, nothing to do with Endgame, but we recently got a new kitten, and we named him after Goose in Captain Marvel. So, yeah, Goose is pretty awesome, so I decided to make him as this cat piece. So, completely unrelated, that's Goose in Captain Marvel. Let's move on to the War Machine Hulkbuster, which is just, it's just sweet. So let's go ahead and do that. So here is my custom Lego War Machine Hulkbuster, and sorry about the way that the presentation looks, you can kind of see the bit of the room around me. And that's just because the thing is so big that it's kind of hard to just put him on a background, so this will just have to do. So yeah, I constructed this in a few days because I really liked the way the Hulkbuster looked, and I really wanted to have him because I don't have an actual figure of the War Machine in the armor, like of the actual legit armor, but I decided to make this because there was a Lego set, of course, and I could easily just construct this, which actually wasn't that easy. But there is lots of points of articulation with this. His legs can move, with the sides right here both can do that. His legs down here can move. He can spin all the way around. He's quite the mover. You can see that a lot of the articulation comes in the arms. They can swivel all the way 360 because of the way that these are built. They can move up and down here just like this on the shoulders, and the wrist scheme can move here all over the place, move up and down. They can do all over the place, and then the arm here, like the actual hand, this can kind of sway back and forth. It's pretty crazy, and I only gave him 3 fingers because I couldn't fit another one of these little pieces for the finger. So yeah, both arms can do that. I just ripped it off. So yeah, that's pretty cool. There's also a lot of other details I painted on here. You can see that I outlined all the little red bits here on here, the different red lights with some white that looked pretty cool. So I outlined all that with some extra. Here's what the back looks like. Actually, it looks pretty nice. You can see some different details on there, and every now and then. And also, there's some more plates back here, kind of like how the legs are. You can kind of see more of them here. They can bend all around the place. So yeah, that looks pretty sweet. Like there's some basic painting details on the tops here, and then all over the place. So before I go into the inside of this, the dome is actually 100% painted. That's not the piece that was provided with the Lego set. I completely hand painted that using my own piece, which I think came out pretty nice. It could be better, but I'm very happy with the way that it looks. I think it looks so cool and whatnot. And then yeah, that's about it for all this stuff. So now it's time to actually enter the top of it. It is kind of fidgety, but you can remove the mask right up here. And inside is, of course, a little Rhodey figure, which I thought looks pretty cool. My friends are pretty into Don Cheadle for whatever reason. Maybe if they're watching this, they can let me know, but I don't know if he even watches my videos. But anyway, I did make a little Don Cheadle. You can take him out here, and I'll kind of show you that. It's very simple little figure, so I'll show you that now. So here's my little custom James Rhodey, little Don Cheadle too. He has lots of different names apparently, but I just kind of made this in very, very quick to go along with the War Machine Hulkbuster. It's very simple. All it is a painted head and a painted torso, and the legs are just Death Star Trooper legs, so I thought they looked pretty cool. There's a certain outfit that he wears in Infinity War that I based this off of, so I think that came out pretty good. And I painted on his hair because his hair is very thin in the, the hair of the actor is very thin. So I also painted a few other different details onto the head. I don't remember where this came from. I think I ordered it for my fin a while ago. And then one more detail I want to point out before I move on is, of course, the browns don't match, which is kind of annoying, but, it's the best that I can do. I apparently don't have any more brown arms, so I kind of had to paint my own, which was kind of awful. If you guys know any browns that match the Lego brown that they use for the humans, that'd be awesome because this figure looks strange whenever you can see clearly that they're 2 different colors. So that's it for War Machine here. But before I move on, here is, of course, next to his best pal, Iron Man, who is, thankfully, they're both still alive. So no War Machine, well, flying over the place. Unfortunately, no War Machine armor, but, War Machine Hulkbuster definitely looks pretty cool. So that's all the figures that I made for this video, and it's just crazy that Avengers Endgame is already out. I'll talk a little bit about this in the outro, but just going to rephrase it here. It's so crazy, and I'm really excited for what Marvel's going to do for the future of the MCU. It's just kind of crazy that it's already over. It's weird. So that's about it for this video, guys. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks so much for watching if you did, and let's go ahead and do that. The outro, the conclusion, the end game. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this custom Lego minifigure showcase video. This has been quite a wild ride for the MCU, and I can't wait to see what's in store for the future. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment down below and everything. This is just really great that I was able to do this so fast because I didn't actually get started on these until like mid-April because I just was facing some problems. But yeah, this is great. I'm gonna go ahead and head off the video now, and That's going to be fantastic, so make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. So long, my friends. I don't want...